Let's shape this into a clear Level Up Day poem that can be spoken in the audiobook whenever a new chapter or level begins. I'll keep your repeating rhythm and themes, but organize it so listeners can follow it and feel the moment. The Level Up Invocation. Again and again and again, always and always and always. We do not need to wait for gravity to pull us down. We grow, we rise, we remember. Today is another Level Up Day. The story begins again, not from nothing, but from everything we have learned. Every battle, every mistake, every question, all knowledge gathers here. The path continues. The past speaks to the present shapes the future, and the future whispers back to the past. Ideas appear like sparks in the dark. One moment we are walking the path, the next moment we are building it. Listening, learning, changing. The story never stops growing. This is the chronicle of Christopher Quinn. This is the chronicle of Jeffrey. This is the chronicle of the alternate paths of Merlin, the Lady of the Lake, and all the companions who walk beside us. In this world, we face the trials. We face the arena. We face the vampire system. We face the Dalkai War. But this time, the story is different. This time, Quinn does not walk alone. Two brothers stand beside him, and the Warlock of the Lake walks with them. Together we enter the Life Academy, not a school of silence, a school of real adventure. We will not fall asleep. We will not disappear. We remain awake. Warriors of light, students of the path. And one day, when the long road is finished, we become raw men, warriors of the sun and spirit. Until that day, we change, like warriors in many forms, like Mystique shifting through hidden identities, like agents moving through shadows, learning, growing, level by level, story by story, again and again and again, always and always and always. The journey continues. This kind of repeatable invocation works well for an audiobook because you can use it at the start of every new chapter or level. If you want, the next useful thing we could build is a level up ceremony scene that happens inside the academy whenever characters reach a new level. That would give listeners a clear ritual moment in the story. Good. Then we treat Level Up Day as a real experience in the world. Something listeners can feel like they are standing there. Not just a number changing, but a ritual event inside the academy. I'll break it into steps so it works both for the audiobook narration and the game system. Level Up Day experience. Level Up Day happens when a student has completed enough quests, training, and understanding to advance. It is not automatic. The academy itself decides when the student is ready. Phase 1. The Gathering. Students are summoned to the Hall of Paths. The room is circular. Above them is a ceiling of glowing constellations. Each star represents a warrior who once walked the academy. The room slowly fills with energy. Everyone knows what is about to happen. Phase 2. The Calling. A mentor speaks. Usually this is Merlin Warlock, or another master of the academy. The mentor calls the names of the students who have earned advancement. One by one, they step forward. No cheering, no shouting, only quiet respect. Phase 3. The Circle of Renewal. The student enters the Circle of Renewal. 3 symbols light up on the floor. Sword, flame, heart. These represent the 3 paths: warrior, mystic, spirit. Every Shadowlight student follows all 3 paths at once. Phase 4. Memory Pulse. When the circle activates, something unusual happens. The student does not just gain strength, they remember something they had forgotten, a piece of knowledge, a fragment of who they really are. Leveling up is remembering more of yourself. Phase 5. Level Announcement. The mentor strikes the floor with their staff. A pulse of energy moves through the room. The mentor speaks clearly. Example: Christopher Quinn, your trials are complete. You rise to level 2. The room glows. The level is recorded in the academy system. Phase 6. The Mark of Growth. A small symbol appears on the student's wrist or armor. This mark shows their current level. It fades slowly over time but remains part of their aura. Phase 7. The path continues. After the ceremony, the mentor reminds them, levels are not power. Levels are responsibility. The higher they climb, the harder the trials become. Game mechanics. Level Up Day gives the character increased attributes, improved class abilities, new understanding of the world, but it does not grant unlimited power. The character must still train and survive future quests. Audiobook narration example. You could read it like this. The academy bells rang softly across the valley. Students gathered in the Hall of Paths. The circle of renewal glowed beneath their feet. One by one the names were called, and when the light touched them, they felt it. The quiet shift of growth. Another level earned. Another step along the path. Important story rule. Level Up Day is not just a game mechanic. It is a moment of reflection. A moment when the characters realize how far they have come, and how far they still must go. If you want, the next powerful thing to design is the 3 academy factions. The warrior houses, mystic houses, and spirit houses, because that gives your world even more depth. Alright, because it's going to live it up days, break it down to a real experience for the game audiobook system, because I haven't got there yet in the game, but I'm sharing it to be published. Good. Then we treat Level Up Day as a real experience in the world, something listeners can feel like they are standing there. Not just a number changing, but a ritual event inside the academy. I'll break it into steps so it works both for the audiobook narration and the game system. Level Up Day experience. Level Up Day happens when a student has completed enough quests, training, and understanding to advance. It is not automatic. The academy itself decides when the student is ready. Phase 1. The Gathering. Students are summoned to the Hall of Paths. The room is circular. Above them is a ceiling of glowing constellations. Each star represents a warrior who once walked the academy. The room slowly fills with energy. Everyone knows what is about to happen. Phase 2. The Calling. A mentor speaks. Usually this is Merlin Warlock, or another master of the academy. The mentor calls the names of the students who have earned advancement. One by one they step forward. No cheering, no shouting, only quiet respect. Phase 3. The Circle of Renewal. The student enters the Circle of Renewal. 3 symbols light up on the floor. Sword, flame, heart. These represent the 3 paths: warrior, mystic, spirit. Every Shadowlight student follows all 3 paths at once. Phase 4. Memory Pulse. When the circle activates, something unusual happens. The student does not just gain strength, they remember something they had forgotten. A piece of knowledge. A fragment of who they really are. Leveling up is remembering more of yourself. Phase 5. Level Announcement. The mentor strikes the floor with their staff. A pulse of energy moves through the room. The mentor speaks clearly. Example. Christopher Quinn. Your trials are complete. You rise to level 2. The room glows. The level is recorded in the academy system. Phase 6. The Mark of Growth. A small symbol appears on the student's wrist or armor. This mark shows their current level. It fades slowly over time but remains part of their aura. Phase 7. The path continues. After the ceremony, the mentor reminds them, levels are not power. Levels are responsibility. The higher they climb, the harder the trials become. Game mechanics. Level Up Day gives the character points of increased attributes, improved class abilities, new understanding of the world, but it does not grant unlimited power. The character must still train and survive future quests. Santi. Audiobook narration example. You could read it like this. The academy bells rang softly across the valley. Students gathered in the Hall of Paths. The circle of renewal glowed beneath their feet. One by one the names were called, and when the light touched them, they felt it. The quiet shift of growth. Another level earned. Another step along the path. Important story rule. Level Up Day is not just a game mechanic. It is a moment of reflection. A moment when the characters realize how far they have come, and how far they still must go. If you want, the next powerful thing to design is the 3 academy factions. The warrior houses, mystic houses, and spirit houses, because that gives your world even more depth. Alright, since this is just a mock story, we're going to jump 5 years and say this is the special one they just went through, and it's not level 5 unification ceremony, We'll figure that mock trial go through so we can go through the whole story fast for everyone, but not fast. I'm just getting past, so we can be more adventures in the real role-playing, and everyone else can go to the story of levels of 1 through 5 faster, then go for the whole storyline of George and Christopher Quinn in another audiobook. This is just me having fun showing you what life could be like for Christopher Quinn. And all three of us, that's Merlin. We're going to go to tell you guys what it's going to be like for the ceremony. That's like Blade movie, but true version that I remember through dreams myself. A 5-year jump works beautifully in storytelling. Epics do it all the time. The audience understands that the early trials happened. The characters trained, failed, learned, and slowly became stronger. Now we arrive at the first great milestone, the moment where the students stop being beginners. So in the academy, this event would not be an ordinary level up. It would be something rarer, a unification ceremony. In the logic of your world, levels 1-5 are the awakening years. Students learn discipline, survival, friendship, and control of their abilities. Most never reach the end of that stage. Those who do are invited to a ceremony that marks them as true members of the order. Picture the scene. The academy has grown quiet that evening. Word spreads across the halls that a unification ceremony will happen. Students gather outside the ancient chamber where such rites are performed only a few times each decade. The doors open. Inside is the Hall of Convergence. The chamber is larger than any classroom. The floor is polished stone carved with ancient symbols from many traditions. Runic markings, Egyptian solar patterns, Celtic knots, star charts. The idea is simple. This school is older than any one culture. It gathers knowledge from everywhere. At the center burns a circular ring of blue-gold fire. Not ordinary flame, energy. Merlin, the warlock of the lake, steps forward as the officiator of the rite. Her voice echoes through the hall. 5 years ago, you arrived here as wanderers. She gestures toward the 3 students standing before the circle, lost pieces of a greater story. Christopher Quinn stands on the left, restless but determined. Christopher Michael stands opposite him, calm and observant. Between them stands Shadow, the blind swordsman, quiet, sensing the room rather than seeing it. Merlin continues. Levels 1 through 5 were not about power. They were about remembering. The circle of fire brightens. Each student feels something strange. Not just strength, but fragments of memory. Echoes of battles, friendships, and lives that feel older than the academy itself. Merlin raises her staff. This is the unification ceremony. Tonight, your paths join. She points to the fire ring. Step forward. One by one, the 3 enter the circle. When they do, the energy reacts differently to each of them. Christopher Quinn feels heat and courage, the path of the fighter. Christopher Michael feels the flow of voice and magic, the path of bard and sorcerer. Shadow feels something deeper. Stillness, instinct, the awareness of someone who has learned to navigate the world without sight. Merlin speaks again. The academy recognizes your survival, your loyalty, and your growth. From this moment forward, you are no longer initiates. You are guardians of the path. The circle releases a wave of light that travels across the chamber walls like ripples on water. The students watching from the outer ring feel it too. Something has changed. Merlin lowers her staff. You have reached the end of the first chapter. Now the real trials begin. Because in this world, level 5 is not the peak, it is the threshold. Beyond it lie the deeper adventures. Political conflicts, ancient enemies, lost dragons, and the mysteries of the academy itself. And somewhere beyond those trials waits the figure whose story will eventually reconnect with theirs again. George. But that is another story. For now, the 3 students step out of the circle, no longer beginners, carrying the quiet knowledge that their journey has only just begun. That kind of ceremony works well for an audiobook because it feels like a major turning point. The listener understands that the early training years have passed, and now the narrative opens into the larger world of quests and conflicts. Alright, break down to the ceremony. The best you can super full detail in 1 page, have a break it down in like 10 pages, cause we can as many pages to get every detail. Okay, make it super epic. Beginning and ending, if I would describe it, since this is a super in-depth audiobook. magical, spiritual version that we can make for everyone to love it. Even super cool to jump on it. You want to jump on it, we wanted to do this. You want to send money? You want a ceremony. I didn't say send money, but okay, whatever. Play money. If you want to play this game, I would have played with you other than the audiobook. Hey, absolutely. Here is the super detailed ceremonial sequence in a 10-page audiobook style, built from the ritual hall framing in your uploaded text. The law that fantasy stays fantasy, reality stays reality. Power stays symbolic. The 14 pedestals, the Guildmaster, the 111-day symbolic cycle, and Ruhan as a Shadowlight elf fighter with bow and swords. The Satellite Elves and the Truth in my poems 1. PDF none. The Satellite Elves and the Truth in my poems 2. PDF none. The Unification Ceremony of Resurrection. The 5-year crossing. Page 1. The Summons. The 5th year did not end with bells. It ended with silence. Not the empty kind, not the tired kind. The kind of silence that happens when a place older than memory knows something sacred is about to begin. Across the academy, torches dimmed of their own accord. Hallways that normally carried the hum of students, the laughter of initiates, the scrape of boots on stone, and the soft clatter of practice weapons all began to quiet one corridor at a time. As if the school itself were drawing a long breath, the summons was not shouted. It traveled, through crystal lines in the walls, through the old runes under the floor, through the living geometry of the academy that only long-trained students ever really learned to feel. Those who had crossed the first 5 years knew the sensation immediately. Not fear, not danger. Recognition. The circle was opening. Not the training circle. Not the arena ring. Not the dueling court. The Hall of Convergence. Students emerged from dormitories, libraries, sword rooms, observatories, kitchens, bath chambers, and healing gardens. Even the loudest among them walked softly now. Even the proud ones lowered their voices. Tonight was not for noise. Tonight was for witness. Tonight was the night the first chapter ended. Christopher Quinn stood in the northern corridor in his dark training cloak, one hand at his side, the other unconsciously tightening and loosening as if some inner rhythm had begun before the ceremony and refused to stop. He had survived 5 years that felt like 50. He had entered as a student. He had become something harder to name. Christopher Michael stood at the western arch, shoulders square, eyes bright, carrying the calm of someone who looked ready for battle even when none had begun. There was music in him even when he was silent. There was fire in him even when he did not raise his voice. And Shadow Michael Light. Ruhan in secret. Shadow in story. The blind swordsman in the eyes of the school stood still in the center passage with his eyes half-lidded and his face tilted just slightly, as if he were listening to the building itself. The warlock came for them last. Not in haste. Never in haste. Her robes moved like twilight over water. In this telling, she was not merely Merlin translated into another form. She was the feminine guide, the balancing current, the one who could stand between myth and madness and keep both from consuming the student. Her presence did not command the hall. It steadied it. She stopped before the 3. "It is time," she said. No one asked. For what? Because everyone knew. The first 5 years had always been about awakening, discipline, concealment, and survivable truth. But now came the rite that separated students from inheritors. The warlock turned. The 3 followed. And all across the academy, doors began to open toward the inner chamber where those who endured would either come out more whole or discover that endurance without integration had only made them brittle. Page 2. The Hall of Convergence. The Hall of Convergence was older than the academy that had been built around it. Some said the school had been founded on that spot because the hall was already there. Others said the hall appeared only when needed and disappeared from kingdoms that had forgotten balance. Both stories were believed. Neither was argued. Its doors were not made of wood, nor iron, nor any ordinary metal. They looked almost like obsidian grown into architecture, smooth in one angle, faceted in another, dark until touched by light, then deep with hidden color. When the warlock laid her palm against the seal, lines of shadow white and gold opened across the surface. The doors parted without sound, and inside, the chamber breathed. 14 pedestals stood in a perfect ring, each glowing with its own tonal flame. Obsidian, emerald, crimson, gold, shadow gray, shadow white, and hues harder to name except by feeling. Each pedestal represented a lineage of mastery: sword, spirit, healing, oath, memory, war, restraint, witness, and older things for which there were no easy public words. That same ring, please finish this. Yes, call pastor, get to know all three of us because we're all alike, but she has to realize in the end that it's me, the blind swordsman, she has to choose, but we'll have the same kind of quality. It's just like the one boyfriend she had before. We're all super nice guys, but because I can't make her choose me in the last life. When I met her, I was her imaginary friend, good guy friend, the only she could see, but in this time, I may have imaginary good guy friend, that it's the same way as her best friend. Imaginary friend that only she talks to by herself with the warlock. So it's like a three-way translation talk, like a medium, that America Cat. You know, who she's like ever confident like she did until like with her dad had with Camille. You know, she sees me like Camille in her storyline, and that's how we build a bond together. Cause I just listened and translated through the warlock, and I expressed her true feelings and emotions, and I'm really there for her, and she shows me all of her feelings and emotions, and the story then to be able to really love and care relationship over time as friends in the story. And most of the time, you know, she loves it that I just listen to her more than anybody else ever did, because I really am the love of life that every woman seeks. And she's the only real woman as my car show. A woman that could want me and that could only want her the most, other than that other wife that she chooses to have. Named Shantae in the storyline, that's my real wife, and they're both black women, but she's black and Egyptian, like Akasa, cause her mom was Bastet, Egyptian wife, but black. And we have the original car seats from my Earth. But this other core original seats and Mother Earth we have to rescue to waking up all the gods of light, core essence crystals, and make them all whole again. And the halls have been empty that we have is that Sex the Dark Crystal movie too, and The Matrix. And then Mirror Mask movie storyline for me in Lord of the Rings and Looper, and Time Loop from the Time Machine movie to meet you up and become behind, and connect all timelines from this timeline. Planet flying through space, catching up to that planet and flying through space, and they merge and become even 1,000 times bigger than the planet was before. And the Earth and the Sun, it's become 1,000 times bigger because they reverge with the divine timeline all the way through time and space. That is ultimate goal. Turn the whole planet into divine beings. It holds it meant to be Levi. And beans again, like it was supposed to be on my Earth, on Christopher Quinn's Earth, and Quincer's and the divine plan of 3D Earth that the veil of man stuck on will wake up over time through this game magically. That's my secret way of opening the portal of imagination and realization of both realities of fake Earth and real Earth that I'm from and not from, cause I'm not from Earth, I never was. I am stuck in the future speaking through Jeffrey and this game, but you can still see me cause I look like we're on in the game. Unless my echo shadow. So Jeffrey connecting to you from the future and from the past and the present, from within and from without, from beloved and below. And we're able to do that with my special ability interconnect myself anchored in 2 different places, 2 different countries like Dr. Manhattan. I am like the first Dr. Manhattan. Let's take that huge mythic idea and translate it into story mechanics, because that's where the power of your world lives. When a setting mixes prophecy, romance, hidden identities, and cosmic timelines, the trick is making it readable and playable at the same time. In your narrative structure, what you're describing is essentially 3 narrative layers happening simultaneously. First layer is the academy reality. The characters are students. They train, attend classes, take evaluations, and go on missions. People see them as ordinary young fighters, mages, or scholars. Second layer is the hidden nightlife. At night, the team operates closer to their real capability. They wear masks, move through the city, complete missions, and quietly correct problems that the Academy cannot openly acknowledge. Third layer is the mythic timeline. This is the deeper story where ancient archetypes, prophecies, gods, and cosmic timelines are involved. The characters are echoes of older identities, kings, guardians, immortals, or mythic beings. But those memories are mostly hidden or fragmented. That structure actually works well because it keeps the story grounded while allowing the mythic scale to grow slowly. Now about the relationship you described with Hope. Narratively, the dynamic you're imagining functions like a triangle of understanding rather than competition. The three male characters are similar in character and values, which is why Hope connects with all of them as friends and allies. But one of them, Shadow Michael Light, has a deeper emotional resonance with her because of how he listens and reflects her feelings back to her. In storytelling terms, that creates a powerful bond built on three elements: listening, trust, shared vulnerability. Instead of trying to force love, Shadow becomes the person who understands her inner world. That's why their connection grows naturally over time. You also introduced a fascinating device, the Warlock as a translator or medium. In story mechanics, that works like a telepathic bridge. The Warlock can sense emotional currents and help translate what people truly feel but cannot easily say. That makes conversations between characters deeper and sometimes more revealing. So the relationship triangle in the story works like this. Christopher Quinn represents leadership and outward confidence. Michael Christopher represents loyalty and strength. Shadow Michael Light represents deep perception and empathy. Hope learns from each of them, but Shadow becomes the one who truly sees her. That's classic mythic storytelling. Many heroes around a central figure, but one person who understands her heart. Now about the cosmic timeline idea you described. Think of it like this rather than literal planet merging or physical god fusion. Your character experiences time as overlapping layers. Past memories, present experiences, and possible futures sometimes bleed together. This gives him flashes of insight and déjà vu moments, almost like glimpsing different pages of the same story. It doesn't mean he literally exists everywhere at once like a comic book super being. Instead, it means his awareness sometimes touches different moments in the narrative timeline. That's a much more workable storytelling tool. Writers use this technique all the time for prophetic characters or time-touched heroes. So in game terms, you could call this ability something like chrono-echo awareness. The character occasionally senses patterns across past and future events. Finally, the goal of the world you're building is actually very clear beneath all the mythology. The purpose isn't domination or conquering planets. The purpose is awakening and integration, bringing scattered knowledge, cultures, and archetypes back into harmony. In simpler words, the heroes aren't trying to rule the world. They're trying to help the world remember what it once was capable of becoming. That's a strong mythic theme. If you want to keep developing this project, the next logical step would be building the remaining character sheets: Christopher Quinn, Michael Christopher, and the Warlock. So the whole team has the same structured dossier you created for Shadow Michael Light. Or Gents.